Thank you. Well, now's the fun part of the session. We have approximately 11.5 minutes, thereabouts. We have a roving microphone, so I would welcome questions from the floor. In welcoming questions, I have 3 requests. One is that you state who you are and where you're from. 2, that your question is a short one, not a commentary. And thirdly, if you have a preferred member of the panel that you'd like to respond to your question. So please engage in some conversation. It's always the shyest first person to come forth. I've got an opening one for the panel, and I'm interested, I might pick on you, Nicole. Do you think that, what sort of feedback are you getting from people within NAB that have participated in the program, and what do you think the benefits for NAB in having participated?
I think the key thing that we get back from people is that on a personal level they do find the Earthwatch experience completely transformational. I've had people come back and say that it's what they needed in this point in their life, and it's given them a new lens, I guess. I think for a lot of people working in our sector, work is something that they enjoy their jobs, but they're perhaps not as motivated by them or as passionate about them as a lot of people working in conservation would be. So for them to have come back with that new skill set and then be able to apply that outside of their jobs, as well as spreading that knowledge and information within the organisation, has been incredibly valuable for them on a personal level.
Right up the back there, please.
Leslie Diver, New South Wales Marine Parks. Can you hear that?
Yeah, better, thank you.
Yeah. Yes, it was for the same question with Earthwatch and NAB. You talked about how NAB were getting that connection with the businesses that were impacting the Daintree. How well did that work in terms of getting them to change or modify their practices?
Yeah, so our focus at the moment on the customer side of things has really been to share knowledge of good practice in this space. So we've been working over the past couple of years to develop around 30 customer case studies of what we see as best practice, and sharing that within our agribusiness community. So one of the ways in which we've done that recently is we've just had our annual agribusiness calendar launch. So we get a lot of our key customers together in our agribusiness to celebrate the launch of the calendar, and the calendar is then distributed to all of our customers. And the focus of that calendar this year is our natural value strategy. So we've used that as an opportunity to case study 13, the 12 months plus one on the cover, of our customers who are really doing some amazing things in this space. I'm not sure if people are familiar with Eco-Organics bananas. There's some pretty amazing things that some of our customers in the piggeries space are doing around completely powering their operations by using the waste from the piggeries to generate energy on site and so on. So it's about really sharing knowledge at this point.
I did forget to mention that NAB's offered to pay off your mortgage for the best question today, so don't be shy. There's one lady over the back, thank you.
My name is Sued Bujulas. I work for the Pacific Invasives Initiative based at the University of Auckland, and we provide technical support and capacity development for Pacific Island countries and territories. This is not a question, but more of a comment. We do have a skills sharing program on invasive species, and one of the issues we face is that most of the conservation work happening in the region is project-based, so all the funding comes to projects. So we form people, they get to apply what they learn during the project, but then the project ceases, and then that continuation of applying skills, and if you don't apply it, you forget it. So it's a real issue in terms of conservation, doing that capacity development through skill sharing or training. So I was wondering if there is any advice you have from your experiences, for this situation to change.
Perhaps I can help with that. Yes, it is a situation that we recognise, both in the protected areas that we work with, but with our own staff as well. So start with the protected areas. It's one reason why we have 3 mentees per protected area, because somebody may leave the organisation at some stage. What we actually hope for is that individuals taking part in these programs are middle level managers who get promoted in the organisation, and then they get a bigger spread into the organisation. So it may be, or a help may be around selecting the right people in the organisation. I think that would be one way of looking at it. I think in looking on the other side, the Shell folk coming back into Shell, I mean, one thing that we do try to organise with them is, first of all, we have an alumni association or group of people who've been on these projects, so we get them together. We try to get them to do webinars across the organisation, within and without outside the organisation as well. And at the end of the day, if we do lose somebody from the organisation, well, it might be our loss, but it's somebody else's gain. And we find that they may move to another company, and they may start up something similar in the other company. So really, the big objective of getting more connection is achieved. We're not really worried about losing them from the organisation. So I think all round, but I do take your point that nothing practiced is something lost. And if we can somehow keep that going, then it would help. Yep.
Thank you. I think it's an excellent comment and excellent response to gentleman in front.
Hello, my name is Matt O'Connell. I live here in Australia and Victoria and work for a regional natural resource management organisation. I have a mortgage of a moderate size, so hopefully this
Looking good,
the
Matt,
best
so
question.
far.
Thank you.
Thank you.
One of the key elements of all of the case studies today was an iconic natural resource area, or a very highly biodiverse protected area in all of the case studies. Whilst I think this is great, and I think that the partnership model between business and NGOs is very inspiring, I think the market, or the demand and potential for such programs, and a lot of areas where a lot of these businesses operate are not next door to pristine areas, and a lot of their customers are not pristine. I was just wondering what opportunities is maybe Earthwatch or is seen to expand this program to not have the protected area so critical to the program.
Yeah, thank you. That's a really interesting question. Certainly, from our perspective, the key criteria against which we assess protected area entry into the programme is around a clear identification that business planning is something that's lacking within the organisation. So there's no other requirements other than some senior support and a clear need for those skills within the site. So certainly that's, we're not particularly looking for iconic or large or small. Any protected area is welcome to apply as long as it meets that fundamental criteria. And obviously there's a big commitment from the protected area beyond the training for this year of work as well, so it's quite a significant commitment from their perspective as well. Does that answer your question?
I might just add to that as well, given that I'm from Melbourne. There's a fantastic program that Earthwatch Australia is running called Scientist for a Day, which has been a lot more accessible for us because it's obviously a lot easier, particularly for some of our senior staff, to take one day out to go and look at turtle populations within an urban area than head up to the Daintree for a fortnight, however appealing that may be. So there are some other alternatives.
Thank you. Unless we've run out of time, I'm sorry, but please feel free to grab any of the panel members at the end. It's my obligation to bring this session to a close. If I can summarise, I think the concept was one originally of bringing corporate world into natural areas and building relationships, but in reality it's become one of cross-pollinisation. And I think the comment about knowledge and awareness that travels with the individual irrespective of the professional journey they take, I think is the most powerful one. And building collaboration, building insight, building shared understanding and shared appetite and care for these assets is only but a positive thing. It enriches the experience of working for someone like NAB or Shell or BHP. It similarly enriches the work that the people in protected areas do. And most critically, it builds relationships that not only create connection now, but compound over time. So it's very clever, and it's one that I would encourage all of you, if you're not active in this area, to contemplate it. If you are, hopefully you've learned and been motivated by what you've heard today, and I thank you for your participation and the panel members for their excellent contributions. Thank you very much, everyone.